Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a kind of a basic contouring video featuring the M Chisel Cheeks palette, because I did get a request from a friend who has this palette who would like to know how to use it and stuff like that, so I thought I'd incorporate it in this video. When contouring, one of the things you need to bear in mind is your face shape. So whether you have a heart-shaped face, round, square, oblong, you know, all those faces, all those face shapes. And the other thing is, you got to, I know I've been guilty of this quite a few times, but you need to think, do I actually need to contour that part of my face? Because I know sometimes I'll just get into the hype and I'll just contour everything, and really there's no need to. Contouring is adding shadow to the face to slim parts down, but at the same time, if you go too heavy, especially here, if you've got quite naturally chiseled cheeks or like hollows of the cheeks, by contouring them further it's going to make you look almost quite gaunt, is that the word? And can make you look older, so it can add years onto your face, which doesn't need to happen, so you do need to be careful. Contouring isn't the same as adding bronzer to the face. Bronzer, you want a quite warm bronzer, maybe a bit of hint of shimmer in there, and that can be applied almost to all over the face if you wanted to, more so where the sun would naturally hit your face, so it tends to be like a three shape, so you do a bit here and kind of around there to add a natural glow to the skin where you would maybe naturally tan kind of on the face, whereas contouring, like I said, is adding shadows to create the illusion of changing your face shape in a way. So I'm just going to go through a very basic video using this palette. So you get 3 shades in this palette. As you can see, I've used this middle one a lot. This is probably my main go-to contouring shade for my skin tone. This one I use a little bit to do this section here, and although it's a cool toned shade which is perfect for contouring, for my skin tone it can look a bit dirty on me, so I like to go for, I kind of mix the two almost, but I prefer to go a little bit more to this one, which is just slightly warmer. Yeah, and then you've got this shade here. Now this shade here, for my skin tone, is more of a setting powder rather than a highlighting powder. If you've got, I am quite fair skinned, but if you've got a slightly darker skin tone, then that would be perfect for highlighting. So I use this one just to kind of set my foundation, my concealer, and actually I did just apply foundation and concealer for this video, so I will just go ahead and quickly set that. And also by setting the face, it helps any other powder products you're going to put on glide on a bit better. And just ignore this right here please, because I'm trying to. I'm just going to, for the purposes of this video, contour all the bits that you can contour. I don't necessarily need to in certain places. So if you've got particularly, maybe if you've got more of a round face, this is the area, this is one of the areas you'd probably want to contour, just to give your face some definition. There are several brushes you can use to contour. I've got 3 here. These are all Real Techniques, obviously. So I have this one, which is the Bold Metals 301. This is very dense and will create a very chiseled contour, and it'll pick up a lot of product because it is so dense and you'll really go in. You've got, I use this one as well, which is a lot less dense, so it'll create more of a natural contour, but because of the shape I really love it because it just gets in there really nicely. So sometimes I'll go in with this first to create the initial line, then I'll use that to blend out, or if I just want a real general contour, I use this one. This is a Duofiber contouring brush, and that again just fits quite nicely in the hollows of your cheeks. So first of all, I'm just going to take this shade here just a little bit, because this is, to be honest, this is the only place I'd add this shade because it is quite dark for me. When contouring the cheeks, you want to start kind of, you can do that thing, and as you'll see, you want to start kind of like at the top of your ear almost, and kind of go down. And I'd recommend probably going down to about where your brow, the end of your brow is. You don't want to keep going right down because it can look a bit odd, and again that's when you can look a bit gaunt as well. So I'm just going to dab a bit off on my hand so it's not too much, because it's quite a dark shade. So I'm just going to go in, like I said, and just to create that initial line. So like I said, I love this for like if you want to create a really sharp line for your initial thing. I then like to go in with the more less dense but the perfectly angled brush just to kind of blend in. When you've initially blended in, you kind of want to go back and forth to begin with. Well, this is what I like to do anyway. You don't have to do it this way. There are no real rules, to be honest. You can do whatever you like, but this is how I do it, and you go back and forth, and then you can just start bringing it up. Yeah, you don't ever want to really bring the contour down, you mainly want to bring it up. And then kind of when I'm happy with that, I then go in with the middle shade on top, because like I said, I don't like, that shade can be a bit too cool toned for my skin, and kind of go over it to help blend it further. When I'm doing this section, I like to bring it up a little bit here, just so it kind of a bit more natural and kind of blends into one. So as you can see, that's really created a real chiseled contour there. Now if you don't want to go something quite as sharp as that, and I don't tend to go for something quite as sharp as that, then I'd take this brush, because this allows for a bit more of a less chiseled contour. So I'm just going back in with that cool tone shade, and I just kind of go ahead. I tend to do circular motions when I want to do a slightly more blended out version. You can see that one's created a much less intense contour, but it still has contoured the cheekbones lovely. I definitely prefer using this brush and this method. I prefer this kind of contour over this one. I just find it's just a bit harsh for me, but some people, I know some people like a real chiseled contour. Then another place you can contour, depending on your face shape or what you want to contour, is the forehead just here. Now if you've got a heart-shaped face, this is quite nice to do because it kind of slims it down a little bit. Or even if you're kind of I know you can get slightly square, not obviously a complete square, but like square shaped faces, it's quite nice to kind of round out a bit more the top sections. For this one I'd go straight with the middle shade because I find this one is too harsh to put along there. I'm just going to go back in with the dual fibre contour brush removal techniques to do this, and so you just want to kind of just do around the outside. Again, I don't tend to contour my forehead much. I tend to more just add bronzer just to add a real natural glow. So you want to put it like here, and then you want to really make sure you blend it out. So comparing the two, you can see that there is a bit of shadow, and it just kind of creates the illusion of a slightly small forehead. Yeah, so I'm just going to quickly do the other side. Now again, if you have a round face or just not very particularly defined jawline, another place to contour is along the jawline. This just creates the illusion of a sharper jaw, and you just want to take it along the jaw. And it just creates a slightly sharper jawline. You want to make sure, particularly here, you want to make sure you do blend it out though. You don't want any harsh lines, as that can look a little odd. And when I put my brush into the product, I don't pick up very much because it's easier to build up on the colour and the shadowing, and it's not so easy to take it away. So just make sure we're going bit by bit. Okay, so that's my chin contoured. And the next place that I'm going to show you people that you can contour your nose, or if they've got a slightly wider nose, a way to make the appearance of it slimmer is to contour your nose down here. I was going to take a much smaller brush. This is a Luxie 231, a small taper blending brush. So yes, I'm going to go in with the middle shade, kind of go down, and you want to try and do it almost as straight as you can. If you start wonky, then it's going to make your nose look wonky. This is probably one of the hardest places to contour, actually, because it's hard to make it look natural in my opinion. And what you do kind of want to do as well is you want to bring it up so it kind of not joins the eyebrow, but then it kind of makes it look like it's all in one. Obviously I can't do it on my other side of my nose because there's something in the way. And then you just kind of want to blend it out. It's less harsh. So like I said, I don't tend to contour my nose. I don't find it the most natural of all the places to contour. I think it's quite hard to make it look like it's supposed to be there, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'll show you what I meant by the bronzer. So I'm just going to take, this is the Makeup Forever Vivid Baked Bronzer. As you can see, it's quite a warm tone bronzer. It's a slight sheen to it. There's no glitter in there. You can have ones that have glitter, but this is more of a sheen shimmer type one. So I'm actually just going to take, this is a duo fibre face brush from Real Techniques. And like I said, that can just go, it can almost go anywhere. It's just to add bronzeness to the skin, kind of where you naturally tan. So like I said, like you can do it in a 3 shape. Those are the places. If you remember the 3, that's kind of the places you can. I'm just going to throw in some highlighter as well, like I said, just to show you to highlight. So I'm using the Goddess of Love Triple Baked Highlighter in the shade Goddess of Faith. This is from I Heart Makeup, which I think is part of the Makeup Revolution brand. Not 100% sure, but you can buy it on their website. And highlighting is kind of the opposite of contouring. You just want to add it in the places where the light would naturally hit your face. If you go like that, you can see it's just here, a little bit down your nose, and I like to do the Cupid's bow as well. So like I said, just where the light would naturally hit. So as you can see, then when the light hits it, just creates a real natural, real glow to the skin, which I really like. A little bit down my nose, just a little bit. So that is the finished contour look. Like I said, it's nothing particularly heavy because I'm not a huge fan of heavy contour, just something that's going to add a little definition to the skin. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you're not, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.